Hey guys, HyperSlayer72 here. Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a both quick and detailed way of making yourselves a Minecraft server for the version 1.6.4 of Minecraft. So I'm going to actually make a new video. If I make a new video, I'm going to actually make a new video on how to make the server. Although most times, because I know a lot of people will rename the title of their video just to the latest version, just so that way more people click on it. So I'm gonna actually make a new video each time, and that way you guys will always know that you are getting new content and new information on how to solve problems with both making and just finalizing a server. So first thing, I want to be quick, so make sure first thing you guys know what version of Java you have. So I'm on Windows 7. Click here on the start and type in add or remove programs. I just type in add and it's right there. So now that you're there, go ahead and type in Java, and you want to make sure that you see what version of Java you have. If you're running Java 6, I recommend you update it to Java 7. Most plugins for Bukkit servers and just nothing really is supporting Java 6 anymore. Well, I take that back. A lot of stuff is, but anyways, go ahead and make sure that you update your Java. I will have a link in the description to this page where you can update to the latest version, and you can download it for 32-bit or 64-bit. If you don't know what type of, and then there's Linux and Mac and whatever that is, but all the other stuff there is there. Actually, I think that's for like the cherries or something like that. But I don't know, raspberries, I don't know. Anyways, so if you don't know what version of Windows you have, click here again and right click and go to computer properties, sorry, and you will see your system type. So I have a 64-bit operating system. You guys may have 32-bit. No difference. Alright, well, there is a difference. If you're running 32-bit, get 32-bit. If you're running 64-bit, chances are, if you already have Java installed, you're running Java 32-bit. Unless, where I just showed you guys right here, it says 64-bit. So if it doesn't say that, make sure that you uninstall it by right-clicking and uninstall. So uninstall it and reinstall 64-bit if you're running 64-bit. But if you're not, just uninstall it and install the most recent 32-bit. So after you have that installed, you may need to restart your computer or something. I don't think you do. But if you do, then welcome back to the video, and let's go ahead and continue. So when you next thing that you want to do is actually getting the file for CraftBukkit. So I will have a link to this page. This is the development build page. Now, to me, development build is basically like their recommended build. They've just fixed more and more bugs with it. So there you go. Alright, they constantly are making new versions, and currently the latest recommended build is still, I believe, in 1.5.2. 1.5.2, yeah. And for me, I'm going to download the most recent build. This is right here. Click this button, and it will download the most recent. So after you have downloaded that, if you're using Google Chrome, it'll appear right there. However else, just navigate to your downloads section, and you want to find your CraftBukkit, and mine is right here. Go ahead and on your desktop, make a new folder and title it whatever you guys want. I titled my folder Minecraft Server 1.6.4. So go ahead and open up your server, and you want to plop in your CraftBukkit that you just downloaded. Rename it to craftbukkit.jar, and just as a precaution, go to Organize right up here. Go to Folder and Search Options. Go to the View tab, and you want to go ahead and uncheck Hide Extensions for known file types. If it's already unchecked, then chances are you've done this before, or you did that just for plain off reason of doing it. So apply it and click OK, and it actually will now show the extensions for files. So now that we can see the extensions, we can go ahead and well, you might actually, because you can see the extensions, you might see that your craft bucket is called craftbukkit.jar.jar. Go ahead and rename that to craftbukkit.jar. So after you've done that, we can go ahead and continue, and go ahead and you want to make a new folder, not a new folder, new text document. And so now that you've made a new text document, go ahead and name that run.txt, and go ahead, ignore this, guys. This is basically what I've already pre-made. Go ahead and edit that, and edit it with Notepad or Notepad++, doesn't matter, guys. Now that you have this, you want to copy in the text from the description that I have for all of you, and I'm going to show you the text right here. So once you want to copy in this text, and now the only difference is that this right here will not be here. You'll just see it like this. So for example, what you want to do is right here up on your navigation bar, click there, and you'll see a whole bunch more navigation appear. So go ahead and copy that all, go back to edit your text document, and paste that in right there. And what you need to do is you need to manually put that little slash there, and do craftbukkit.jar. And now most of the time they'll just give you the text document without any of the navigation, so it may not locate your bucket normally. So actually I'll have it like this, guys. Just go ahead and paste in that little area, and I'll actually even include the / or the / with craftbukkit.jar. Just paste that in right there. Go ahead and save your file and close out of it. Actually, sorry, go back and edit that. And you want to save it as, go ahead and click all files, I don't know, run.bat. Go ahead and save that as run.bat and click save. Once you have done that, you will now see two files, your text document and your run.bat. So you can delete your text document and you will be left with these two files. What you want to do, double click your run.bat, and it should generate your bucket or your server, and once it'll generate your world, your properties, everything like that will automatically be created for you to then edit yourself and make even more awesome. So that's going to generate for me, and it now says done. And I'm going to go ahead and stop my server. And just to let you guys know, this may seem like a whole lot of everything. It's just really confusing. It's a ton of text, and it's just too much to focus on. So, but I'm actually going to help you guys understand this. So a little bit. So it says starting the server. It's loading the properties. It says that the properties are missing, so it actually made one for us. That was because when we started our server, it looked for a properties file first before making one, which is sort of cool. Next, it generates generated the properties file, and then it made a new world for us under survival. It went ahead and did all this other stuff. Just look for any warnings, really. Like right here, it says failed to load operator list. It just made one for us, so that's no problem. And I'm actually going to stop the server and go ahead and start it right back up again. And that'll actually remove most of the errors that we were seeing because it's now there. So it says all that we have left is it says that we are running a development build of Bukkit, which we know. So go ahead and stop your server if you started it again. And next thing you guys want to go ahead and install is Notepad++. And I do not have that open, do I? Okay. So I'll have a link to this right here, guys, Notepad++. You may already have it installed. Most people already do. It just is a great tool to have both for things like this and for editing your server's permissions files and knowing when you've made a mistake while editing them. Go ahead and download it and install it. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to go ahead and open up your bukkit.yml. with Notepad. Once that opens up, you will, now this is also like, whoa, confusing, but you'll look at it and you see, wait, monsters, it says you can only have 7 monsters, 15 animals. This can all be changed through here to more fit your needs or what you're wanting to do. So you can have the end, you can have, yeah, that's in there. The nether is in the server properties, which it is, it's more of a general area now. So the password and everything is created for you guys. I don't know what this is for really, but other than that, go ahead, and the main thing you'll want to change here is suggest channels to true, but make your preferred channel to dev, and make sure you keep a space between that and dev. So save that. I'm going to close out of it and open up my server again. So now look, it literally says not one error. Our code is the actual execution of the server is so much more simple and understandable. So it says that it made the world, it started up our worlds, which was the normal world, nether, and the end. It went ahead and it looked in the permissions, it sees it's empty, and it is ignoring it. No need to worry about that, guys. That's not an error that you will really be able to fix unless you actually edit the permissions, which is, the permissions are, I'm going to go ahead and stop the server, guys. The permissions are right here, I thought. Yeah, permissions.yml. If you were to edit that with Notepad, which is what you'll want to use, again, great Notepad, but you'll have that, and now your server pretty much is done. Last thing you'll want to do is open up your server.properties with, well, I'll actually open it up with Notepad++ because that's what we've been using. And we can now see it says generator settings, and that's if you want to make a custom flatland world, because that's what you'll want to paste in there. You can allow the nether, world name, enable query and stuff like that. Allow flight. I'm gonna make, now if you want to enable something, type in erase false and type in true. If you want to disable something, erase true and type in false. Simple. Okay, so next thing that we need to worry about is your IP. This is what's actually going to allow your server to connect to the internet and accept other people trying to connect to it. That's like the main reason of having a server. Max players that can join your server. All this stuff is pretty much obvious. Just make sure you have online mode set to true, and that's really all that you got to worry about. If you disable that, then that means that nobody will be able to connect because it's basically like invisible mode. So you can save that now, but before we close out of it, we need to set up the IP. So go ahead and click on this, and for me, because I'm on Windows 7, I'm going to type in CMD. But if you are on something like Windows XP, you'll want to type in run. So for me, I just type in CMD and open up CMD. And if I'm on run, I just type in CMD on here. CMF now. CMD. And it'll open up the same thing, guys. So now that you have this open, it looks like our server actually. Now you want to type in IP config. And now, just to let you guys know, you need to have a router for this to work. If you don't have a router, don't even try doing it this way. There's another way that I can show you if you don't have a router. So, Ethernet adapter, local area connection, Ethernet adapter. It'll probably say for you guys if you're connected via wireless, via your router. It'll say wireless. It'll say wireless Ethernet adapter, wireless area connection, or something like that. So what you want to do is you want to find your default gateway. For me, I'm going to ignore this, and you want to find the little number 192.168.something.something. So whatever your number is, almost everybody's is different. You want to take that number there, and you want to go to your server's properties. So I have typed that in right here, my number, and it will actually prompt you most of the time to log in to your router. It's not your default password that'll connect. It's something else, guys. You'll have to, if you haven't changed it, try something like admin for the username and then pass for the password. But I honestly can't help you guys if you don't know how to log into your router. If you did change it, then maybe you know. And if you still have your router's installation disk or anything like that, like if you have a Cisco router, then Cisco Connect can be a great help. But really, other than that, there's nothing more that I can do for you guys. I know there's some websites out there that will tell you that if you type in your router's model, then it'll give you the default username and password for it. But other than that, nothing more that I can really do. So once you're in here, now everybody's layout is going to be different depending on both their type of router and their version. So this is my version of my router. So I'm going to go to Applications and Gaming. For you guys, it might be Server Services and Gaming, or Firewall Bypasses. Or maybe IPv4 Firewall Bypass, something like that. So now that you're there, for me, I'm going to make two. I already made this, guys, so I'm going to make two different Minecraft Private 1, Minecraft Private 2, or Minecraft Server 1, Minecraft Server 2, whatever you guys want to name it. Doesn't matter. Now type in your external and internal port as 25565 for all four of those there. And you want to make your protocol for the first one, TCP, the protocol for the second one, UDP. And don't make it both. That can cause problems. Just don't do it. Next, you need your IPv4 address. So hopefully you left your little page here open, and you will see IPv4 address mine is 192.168.1.119. So for you guys, it'll be different. So type in that little IPv4 address there and save your changes. Once you have that done, you guys yourself, you'll want to both type in on your server properties. You'll want to type in your IPv4 as well. So 192.168.1.119. Sorry. So for me, that's my IPv4 address. It'll be different for everybody. Save that and go ahead and you can close out of it now. You can close out of there. I'm going to close out of all of this stuff just to prevent any more lag. So you can now run your server, and it will say right here, starting Minecraft server on 192.168.119 at 25565. So again, it'll show your IPv4 address there, which is all good. You'll know that you did it right then. And another problem that you guys may see is that if it says this error right here, perhaps the server is already running on that port. This is either because you accidentally did TCP and TCP for when you were creating your server or port forwarding it, and that might be what it is. If you somehow did that, or it's because you did UDP and UDP, or messed up the IP addresses, or something like that, guys. But other than that, this error just popped up because I tried to start up my server after it's already been started. Next out of that, you guys can now play on your server, and in order for your friends to join, just go ahead and open up a new tab on your web browser, type in CMyIP, and go to see@myip.com. I'll have a link for this web page in the description. Go ahead and now it says my IP address is this. I can copy this and I can send that to a friend, and they can join with that IP. And make sure that you tell them to type in that and then colon or dot things 25565, whatever you'd call that right there. And there you go. You guys can connect with your IPv4 right here, and that'll give you guys a strong connection. And if you give your friends that extra port, then that will make them connect faster, or at least it should. Now, if you had any problems along the way, port forwarding can be very difficult. It can be very annoying, and it's just a problem 99% of the time. So if you had any problems and you're not able to get port forwarding to work no matter what you do, you can download Hamachi. So Hamachi is the weak replacement for port forwarding. Port forwarding is very quick because you're actually connecting to your router at your house. Now, when you use Logman, then you are actually using their routers, you could say, and you're just using your internet and you're connecting to them. So normally for a server, it would go from your computer to your router to your friend's house. Now it has to go from your computer to your computer to your internet to their servers, and then back to your friend. And there you go. It takes a little bit longer. It's not as good. You can only have 5 people on your server. That's including you, so only really 4 people can join. Checkmark the conditions of use and download the unmanaged version. Install it, and it will all start up, and it will look like this. Click the online button, make yourself a username, and go ahead and make yourself a network. Now this is again for only people who can't port forward. So once you make yourself a network and you can give your friends, click copy IPv4 address from right up here and give that to your friends. They have to download Hamachi. That's one of the downsides as well. So as you can see, I can only have 4 people join since I'm already one of the 5. And there you go. That's really that's all that you have to do in order to port forward via Hamachi. And you just give your friends that IP and make sure that while you're in your server properties that you set the IPv4 address there as your IP address, and you will be all fine and dandy with that. So continuing on with just a little bit of an extra for making your server, making sure that it's working perfectly. My server now opens up, it runs, and it's just a server though. Alright, now one of the main good sides of Bukkit is plugins. It has plugins. So I'm going to go in my plugins folder, and it's empty right now. You guys are going to want to have plugins. Now, there is nothing better about Bukkit really than this in my mind. So I'm going to link you guys to a few great plugins to get. Number one thing you're going to need, I don't care who you are, you're going to want to have Essentials. And they have Bukkit plugins on their actual website. So you can just go to Bukkit Plugins and click on that, and you will see your search. So I have for you guys right here the Essentials download. You'll want to download both Essentials Core right here for this download. Get the development build, and well, if you want to, and then you'll definitely want to get. You don't need Essentials Extras, but you're gonna want to have Group Manager. So download those two. Essentials will come in a folder like this. Essentials.zip, yeah. It'll come in something like this with Winrar, and you'll have all these files. Take these jars and plop them into your plugins folder right here. Now they're all there. Opening up our server, we see a little bit more action going on with all of this, and it's just saying Essentials has loaded up all of its stuff. Essentials is activating all of its stuff, and we don't have any errors created by Essentials. There's no warnings, guys. And you will not experience any warnings with Essentials whatsoever. I can almost guarantee that. So you're going to want to download Group Manager, and I have that right here. Right. So go ahead and drag that on over to your plugins folder right here. And I actually forgot to stop my server. So go ahead and I'm going to start my server up again. And a good thing to let you guys know, so now it says, yeah, they said that it updated Bukkit permissions, and and that's all set up. Now, you guys may notice that I don't actually X out of my server. I type in stop. So you want to do this because you're telling the actual server to save at a steady rate. When you just X out of it, it's just like, boom, oh, you want me to close? Okay. I don't really have any time to save, but okay. So that's like only time that you'll want to X out of this is if the server freezes, and use it as a last resort, guys. So, but chances are if the server crashes or freezes, then you can't even X out of it at all. So type in stop and press enter. it'll save it for you and press any key, and it will close for you. Now we can X out of this. We can X out of the essentials and everything. And we now can actually go into our plugins folder. And we have our essentials jars here. We have plugin metrics, which is made by essentials. And essentials basically what that is, by the way, to let you guys know, is it is all of the extra commands that you could ever dream of that you'll get from the mod single player commands and other stuff that not even normal Minecraft gives you. You have warps, you get shops, you get everything from this plugin that you would really ever want, except for the minor extras, which I'll get to in a second. Group Manager, you want to go into that folder, and this is where you can edit permissions for people. You can manage what they can do. Maybe if you're the owner, you can make yourself the owner and you just can do everything. But if a random person joins your server and you don't trust them very well, maybe they could be a griefer, so you could disable their ability to build right away, and maybe you have to they have to go to your website and make an account, and then they'll be updated to a member group, and then they can build. So go into your current world, which right now we only have world, so we can go in there. And we can edit groups with Notepad++. You'll have to do this with Notepad++, or any other text, like via any advanced text opening program. So now we have all of our groups. We have default, we have builder, we have moderator, admin, owner, and yeah. That's all that we got right now, guys. You can add more. This is not something that I'm going to touch very much. It's something that you have to really learn the ropes for and get the hang of. But just that you can understand the fact, the default group is the default group. What they can do, they can't do anything but kill themselves. They cannot build. The color of their name is going to be whatever color that is, cyan, I think, or I don't know. And that's really all that they got. For Townie and all these external plugins and Bukkit and Essentials, it's the default for them. Then you got like the moderator for all this stuff, builder, they can build. You can change this up to the way that you want. Owner, as you can see, their permissions is anything. This is the anything permission, and then they can do vanish. But other than that, nothing more than I'm gonna really touch very much on there. So there you go. So you can look up tutorials on how to further develop and further customize your permissions for your server, which that is a very big part of the way that your server will work. So we've got that done, guys. Another good plugin that you'll want to get is Factions. This is like the #1 plugin that most people want to have. Make sure that before you get Factions, you have MCore installed. And I'll also have a link to Essentials and all this stuff. The only thing I can't link you guys to is your router information. But other than that, I have links to everything, guys, in the description of the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video that I make. Any questions you have, you may PM me, or you can leave a comment. I will be constantly checking the video to see if there is any new information. So this has been almost a 30-minute long video, guys, but it was worth it. So thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.